In a quiet, snow-covered town named Evergreen Hollow, the annual anticipation for Christmas ran high. The town's residents had always taken pride in their festive holiday traditions. But this Christmas Eve was different. A shadow had cast itself over the town, and the source of their fear was something they could hardly comprehend: the phantom Christmas presents. It all began when Hannah, a young girl with a heart full of wonder, received an unexpected gift. The present was wrapped in exquisite silver paper adorned with intricate snowflakes. No name or note was attached, and Hannah's parents couldn't remember buying it for her. Hannah, too excited to resist, tore open the package to reveal a magnificent porcelain doll, elegant and hauntingly beautiful. Its glassy eyes seemed to follow her every move, and its porcelain smile felt like a secret it was guarding. That night, as Hannah lay in her bed, she heard soft, eerie laughter echoing through the house. She followed the sound to the living room, only to find the doll perched on the sofa, its porcelain lips curving into a chilling grin. Bewildered and terrified, Hannah fled back to her room, the doll's laughter haunting her dreams. The next morning she awoke to find the doll waiting for her in the kitchen, staring at her with an unnerving intensity. Her parents denied any involvement, insisting they hadn't bought the doll. They were just as puzzled and unnerved by its presence as she was. The doll was not the only mysterious gift that had appeared. Throughout Evergreen Hollow, more residents found presents in their homes, each one bearing no sender and no explanation. The gifts ranged from vintage music boxes that played eerie lullabies to antique jewelry that seemed to carry the memories of its past owners. The town's unease grew as the phantom Christmas presents became an epidemic. People were afraid to sleep, fearing what they might find upon waking. And with each mysterious gift, strange occurrences followed. Clocks stopped, the temperature plummeted, and whispers filled the night. Desperation led the townspeople to gather at the town hall, where they formed a plan to unmask the source of these haunting gifts. Hannah's father, a local historian, discovered an old legend about the town, the tale of a mysterious toymaker named Elijah Thornfield, who had vanished without a trace on Christmas Eve centuries ago. As the townspeople delved deeper into the legend, they learned that Thornfield had crafted toys and presents with a dark secret. Each contained a piece of his tormented soul. He had been seeking a way to transcend death, and on that fateful Christmas Eve his dark ritual had gone awry, leaving him lost between the realms of the living and the dead. In a race against time, the townspeople searched for Thornfield's hidden workshop, determined to break the curse and release the tortured souls trapped within the phantom Christmas presents. Their journey led them deep into the snowy woods, where they found a decrepit, long-forgotten cabin. Inside, they discovered a room filled with the sinister gifts and a life-sized doll that bore an eerie resemblance to Thornfield himself. The room was frigid, the air filled with anguished wails. It was here that they pieced together the puzzle and devised a plan to free the trapped souls. As the clock struck midnight on that fateful Christmas Eve, the townspeople gathered in the decrepit cabin deep in the snowy woods, chanting the incantations from the ancient book they had discovered. The room quivered and the air grew icy, but instead of the presents shattering and releasing the trapped souls, an eerie hush fell upon the room. Panicked whispers began to spread as they realized something had gone terribly wrong. The incantations they had used were not meant to release the spirits, but to bind them further, tethering their restless souls to the cursed gifts. The room darkened as shadowy figures emerged from the shattered presents, their wails and moans echoing through the cabin. Elijah Thornfield, the tormented toymaker, manifested as a ghastly spectre. His tortured eyes met the terrified gazes of the townspeople, and a sinister grin twisted his ethereal face. "You have freed me," he snarled, his voice a chilling whisper that sent shivers down their spines. "I have waited for this moment for centuries." The room seemed to contract, walls closing in as the trapped souls circled the townspeople, drawing nearer with each rotation. The temperature plummeted further, and the very essence of the cabin began to fray. Desperation and fear gripped the townspeople as they realized the true extent of their mistake. Thornfield's plan had worked. The curse had not been broken. It had been unleashed. They were now entangled in the horrific web of the phantom Christmas presents, and there was no escape. One by one, the townspeople's spirits were torn from their bodies and absorbed into the cursed gifts. Their agonizing screams echoed throughout the cabin, merging with the torment of those who had been trapped there for centuries. Hannah, now a spirit herself, watched in horror as her family and friends were consumed by the darkness. Thornfield's sinister laughter filled the air as he reveled in their suffering. The room became a nightmarish tableau of torment, a twisted reflection of the festive holiday they had once cherished. The cabin itself began to crumble, its wooden walls and creaking floors disintegrating into a swirling vortex of despair. The spirits and cursed gifts merged with the vortex, leaving Evergreen Hollow a desolate, cursed wasteland.